Hey, welcome to day 89 of my spiritual journal with me. It's your soul sister, Iona, and this is Relationship Freedom Friday in my world. So I go live on the Soul Legacy TV, YouTube, podcast, and talk about all things spiritual business success without doing busy work, without being broke, and without experiencing burnout. And I share with you my spiritual rituals and routines to support me in what I call intentional living an intentional life. And as I use my spiritual journal, I use an acronym called Cheers to Financial Freedom. And so within that acronym and within our Bank 50K in 50 Days Challenge, the acronym stands for Relationship Freedom Friday is today, which is good morning, Robin, which is relationship freedom. But we start at contribution freedom Mondays, health freedom Tuesdays, emotional freedom Wednesdays, environmental freedom Thursdays, relationship freedom Fridays, which is today. I've got my blue top on. Each day I wear a colour representing that day. And then we've got spiritual freedom Saturday and then financial freedom Sunday. So throughout the week, we'll talk about the Bank 50K in 50 Days Challenge. And the idea is to create a spiritual vision board and then use this spiritual journal with me to actually manifest and be in alignment with what is on your vision board, in short. So if you have not gone through my 7-day spiritual vision board for spiritual YouTubers and spiritual business owners, then you can do that, because I want you to get clear on your vision, clear on your values, and clear on your vibration. So this is a real chance to get clarity on the vibration that you are emitting for those 7 areas of your life. I call them the 7 freedoms, so for sure. So welcome. We have Robin Knott, of the founder of the Energy Healing School online. I was going to say .com, and it's not yet. And host of the Energy Healing TV podcast. And Robin is our lead soul guided instructor I founded the SoulLegacyAcademy.com, and I host producer of the Spiritual Biz YouTubers Network. So welcome. If you're watching on the replay, welcome. If you're new to me, I know that I've had new subscribers and new members and new students as I've done the Bank 50K in 50 Days Challenge. So I use what I call the Soul Legacy Journal, because obviously the founder of the Soul Legacy Academy. Hello. It's a notebook, actually. And I call it 365 Days of Your Spiritual Awakening Story, a co-created soul path to spiritual alchemy for light workers. So the idea is to use the spiritual journal and use this space, use this time to focus on your relationships. And so relationships, I believe, are like the engine. It's my favorite day, the engine of our life. So we're going to talk all relationships, and any relationships that you have in your life that feel really good, celebrate them. Any relationships that you want to manifest in your life, feel good, celebrate them. Any relationships that feel toxic or not aligned and you'd like to remove or work on, feel good and celebrate them. All of them are guiding markers. The relationship with yourself is what we focus on as well. And so in my spiritual journal, I have notes, so for today and every single day on the Soul Legacy TV, what I usually do is focus on anything that raises your vibration, anything that's in alignment with your vision board, anything that makes you feel good. So for me, I like to read a quote every single day that I get off my Momentum app. I love my Momentum app. I talk about that in a second. So I'll give you the quote for today. I'm going to pull a card. So this is from the Keepers of the Light. And so I've done all of the deck for each day, and we started again. So I've got a card for today. We'll talk about chakras, because Robin, hey Jennifer, how you doing? Good morning. Good morning. Robin says, thank you for the shout out. No worries, love. I feel like stuffing. And she says, good morning, Jennifer. So Robin Knott of the Energy Healing TV and podcast talks about energy, obviously, an energy healing lifestyle. And one of the fundamental pieces is aligning our chakras, our 7 main chakras that are aligned with the spine. And so Robin will support you in what I talked about, intentional living, right? And setting your intentions and your vision. And oftentimes as spiritual business owners, in order to know what it is that we want to do in the world and have that relationship with ourselves, often we have that spiritual awakening. So that's why I say that it's your spiritual awakening story. However, I know that along this journey, there's a lot of energy to shift, a lot of energy to clear. When we go through our awakening, life doesn't look and feel the same way that it did. We don't think and feel the same way that we did before our awakening. That's why once we're asleep and now we're awake. And sometimes chaos unfolds, or sometimes relationships don't necessarily feel gelled and molded the way that they used to, or sometimes a relationship with us feels a little bit confusing. So Robin will support you in any kind of funk that you feel around relationships, relationship with you, anything that you've gone through. She'll support you in that. And one of the ways is through Robin's 7 days to unblock your chakras challenge. And so Robin does this annually every September, the 4th week in September. And currently Robin's got the replays for the previous challenge, so you can do that on her channel. So all that to say that at the time when I was doing Robin's challenge, I brought some chakra crystals, or some crystals that align with the chakras. So it came in a little pouch, and it was like a chakra starter kit. So I bought them because I didn't know a lot about my niece has just said no you didn't. I just shared the book for today with my niece about the 5 love languages. I'll talk about that for relationships. And yeah, so I bought this. So today's crystal for throat chakra. Is it throat chakra today, Robin? I think so. So it is throat chakra Healing Fridays in Robin's world. And so out of all of the crystals that are in there, this is, I don't know how to say it. I think it's called lapis lazuli. And if it's not, like, it's tough because I don't know how to say it. And even if you typed it, I wouldn't know. And then we're going to say some gratitude. So before I came on, I don't know why, like, that's kind of, I went outside to empty the bins and stuff, but I don't know. I talk about gratitude. So we're going to save that till the end, as well as the banquet you came 50 days, because we want to be grateful in our spiritual journal and our journaling and in our life as we live intentionally, not just striving for more success. Success for me is being grateful for what we already have, and then moving through with that. So thank you for your comments. Excuse me. Robin says clearing the funk and gunk. Yeah, I talk about being in soul flow, soul funk, and soul flow. So Robin says clearing the funk and gunk. So when we're in soul funk, and Robin talks about gunk, sometimes it feels gunky, like muddy and murky and all the things, and that's just contrast, right? And that's okay, whichever area. We're going to talk about relationships. So if it gets a little bit deep for you, then that's okay. And you can use your spiritual journal to be really honest and really transparent about your relationship now and the relationships that you want to manifest. And I'm going to talk about all things relationship. The reason why I do, and this spiritual journal with me, is because I'm doing my own journaling, and I tend to just speak my journal out because I'm doing a video for it. But I also know what's going on for me. It's my anchor every single Friday to say, hey, Iona, what did you do throughout the week? What are you doing presently? And what do you want to manifest? So if you guys want to, oh, you've done it already, do your rating. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, throat chakra. So for my rating, oh, so you've done both. Thank you, Robin. So Robin's done the rating for today. And Robin, you talked about gunk and funk. And so basically every single day on the Soul Legacy TV YouTube podcast, when we do the spiritual journal with me, and we use this Soul Legacy journal. I call it Soul Legacy journal. Call your journal whatever you like, but this is the Soul Legacy journal. What we do is we rate how we feel. Now we talk about how we feel on a relationship freedom, on emotional freedom Wednesday. However, the relationship with you and the relationship with soul client, soul tribe, soul family, biological family or soul family, it can be a trigger. And if you're a spiritual business owner, which I'm guessing you are because it's Spiritual Business Success with Iona right on the Soul Legacy TV, then launching, leading, and leaving your soul legacy, in my opinion, isn't done on your own. Although as light workers, we want to place ourselves, or we have placed ourselves strategically, maybe in soul families that don't, or biological families that don't necessarily always feel aligned. I believe that we're here to launch, lead, and leave a soul legacy, and it's not done alone. Even when we isolate ourselves, or when we go through a spiritual awakening, we feel isolated, or people that kind of fall away, or we don't necessarily think that people around us get us, or they don't seem to get us, or the world seems a little bit crazy or not friendly, and like you feel like an alien on the planet, all the things. I still do believe that we're here to launch, lead, and leave our soul legacy, and do it with ease, grace, and flow. So that's what I want to talk about with relationships, and just note where you are with that. And if you are isolating, or you feel isolated, however, you still want to make a real big difference, and you still want to build a spiritual, just saw a butterfly, white one. If you still want to make a difference in the world, and you want to transform the world, just see where there's inner conflict, or the words that you're speaking, or when you're journaling, where there's a conflict in that. Not just contrast, because we talk about that, but conflict, that gunk and that funk. Because if we want to make a difference in the world, we're going to be building relationships. And I believe our relationships come through that soul to soul connection, our soul contracts, and we're going to be having conversations as well. So when you think of your relationship freedom, and on the Soul Legacy Journal, I say your soul legacy is every life you impact, influence, and impress upon, every soul client, soul family, and soul tribe you touch, because soul expansion begins with you. So we're going to start with you. So on the Soul Legacy TV, every single day, we rate how we feel, how high vibe we feel, how in tune, that we're following our guidance, how the downloads, how connected we feel with our higher self. I say soul guidance because we're souls, and having a human experience. So when we think of every area of our life, we do, but today it's relationship freedom. When you think of your relationships, soul family, soul clients, soul tribe, and you think of the vision that you have. So we do a vision board, spiritual vision board for your business, but it's for lifestyle as well. You like working your lifestyle for a year out is what I do. So if you've done the spiritual vision board already, then it might not be a year out. I usually do it every December, because like the end of the year, how am I doing? Want to start at the beginning of the year, but it doesn't matter. And I will do one mid July actually. So if you want to come along and do that with me, it's on the Soul Legacy TV YouTube podcast. You'll find it in a playlist. But say like now it's July, it's the 1st of July. I've just took the screenshot of 11/11 and the 1st of July, right? 2022. It's halfway through the year, full halfway through the year. What have your relationships been like for this first half of this year? What's the relationship been like with you and you? What have the relationships been like with your soul clients? Do you have soul clients? Do you have a soul tribe? Are you building a soul tribe? What are your relationships like with your family, your spouse, if you have one, children, grandchildren, nieces, nephews, all the things? And how do you feel about it? So people set New Year's resolutions. I kind of don't really believe in that, because I just think it's lip service. But, you know, how did you want 2022 to look? Bear in mind that we went through 2020. Did we actually go through that, or we dragged ourselves? And then we probably thought that 2021 was going to be lit, and it wasn't necessarily the way that we thought. And now it's 2022. It's like, wow, there's some things that are dragging along and other things we know that we're co-creating, we know that we're manifesting. So how are you feeling? Do you feel in soul funk, or do you feel in soul flow? I'm at an 11 because I set a vision. I've just been watching my old spiritual vision board challenge. That was from a year, and I think it's about a year and a half. Yes, a year and a half ago that I first did it in that format. And all the things that have manifested, all of the relationships, all of the conversations, all the relationship with me, the relationships have fallen away, the relationships came in, have gone out. I've learned so much from. So for me, my rating is an 11. And the reason is because when I did my spiritual vision board, I had a vision for how I wanted to be. I want certain people around me, but the faces might have changed, but I'm in vibration. So no matter how life is pushing and pulling, I'm steady in my vibration. I've raised my vibration. We want to, I say, rise and reside. I cheers to financial freedom frequency for all areas. And oftentimes our relationship will impact our income. Our relationship with our soul clients, if we have them, will impact our income. Our relationships will impact the level of contribution. Our relationship with ourselves will impact our health. Our relationship with others will impact our emotional freedom. Our relationship with who's in our environment, online, offline, will impact our environmental freedom. So it's big in our relationship with our guides, source, universe, what have you, whatever you want to say, impacts. And so that's the spiritual freedom impacts our relationship. So how do you feel? So we rate soul funk to soul flow. So let me know. So Robin has rated hers. Relationship freedom equals an 11. Boom! Biatch. Well, that's what we say in private. Whoop, whoop. Awesome. And so Robin says, well, in Robin's world, if you're not subscribed to Robin's YouTube channel, the Energy Healing TV podcast, then please feel free to subscribe. Robin has a daily live talking about energy healing lifestyle and chakras, and aligning your chakra with your vision to have more freedom. And so the intentional living codes for living an intentional life and the energy healing lifestyle really go together really well, because when you set intentions and you think and feel that they're going to go a certain way, they often don't. And often, sometimes, or not often, sometimes that's a mirror for what's going on inside of you, and you might want to course correct and change direction and just raise your vibration, clear some stuff. Sometimes in order to raise our vibration, we've got to let go of some stuff, right? And not be so attached to people and places. So Robin says for Robin's throat chakra energy Fridays equals an 8, sorry. So Robin also rates between a 1 and 11. So 1, would you be in the gunk, like rolling around in the mud, like energy, the chakra is like not feeling clear. It's feeling blocked. It's feeling unbalanced. You're feeling unsteady. You're feeling wobbly. And what would you say is like at the top of yours? So if gunk's at the bottom, funk's at mine, flow, I don't know. You'll have to come out with the opposite end of the scale for you, Robin. So Robin says that her ratings are up from last week. So every single Friday we do on our with the spiritual journal and the SoulLegacyTV, we rate, right, Relationship Freedom Friday. So if you were with me last Friday, you'll have a rating. If you were not with me, then that's okay. But if I go back to last Friday, I will tell you what my rating was. And Robin, I don't know if you're the throat chakra energy Friday. So Robin talks about the chakras and that energy. So she calls them the 7 energies, and I call this the 7 freedoms. So it's just short. So that's why we use the abbreviation, just because it feels like fun and it feels super aligned. So let me see for last Friday. I'll go back to my spiritual journal. This supports me in my spiritual business. Mine was an 11 and a 10. So they're the same as today. So when I look back, I want to see what did I do throughout the week, to maintain my vibration. Did it dip at any point? And if it's lower, why is it lower? If it's the same, why is it the same? And if it's higher, why is it higher? And we want to actually be creating the daily rituals and routines, including journaling and visualization and gratitude and speaking into existence and segment intending and being in alignment with our values, all the things, those daily rituals and routines. So we're spending our time with ourselves, having that relationship, noting, and the people that we actually want to spend time with. I've spent a bunch of time this week with the people that I want to spend time with on my masterclass on Monday, 5 hours and 40 minutes live on my YouTube channel. Like, yes, people bouncing in, people bouncing out. Okay, I've just got a a message from someone who's a student in the challenge. And so I'm inviting everyone back in to go. It's self-study, but you guys are going to buddy up again. That's relationships as well. So yeah, that's where I'm at with my rating. And so I'll have a look at yours and why my rating is the same. And then on Sunday we'll add up our ratings. Robin says, yeah, the contrast and awareness so we can clear and pivot. Yes, pivot up. I'm coming to your comments, Jennifer. That's a t-shirt, man. Clear the funk and the gunk merch. Clear the funk, clear the gunk. Boom. So every time we say boom, you know the word that comes after. Jennifer says, lapis lazuli. Lapis lazuli. Lapis lazuli. I looked it up once and tried to do the whole spelling, and I can't. I like laplelusi. Yeah, that one. Right? And the crystal, butchered or not, still the energy's the same. You bring in the crystals. So it's truth, awareness, and wisdom. Bring that into your day for intentional living. Thank you for helping me out, Jennifer. You're a star. Robin says, oh my goodness, is it July? The 1st of July today. The 1st of July, right? So one would be right back. Oh, you're back. I didn't know. Thank you, love. Boom, haha, boom, it. It's what we say. Robin says we have a crystal queen. Crystal queen. We have the healing queen. Still great, crystal queen and healing queen. Love it. Healing with the crystals, right? All right. So let me give today's quote, and then I'll pull the card for today. All right. We're good with that in our spiritual journaling. So the quote again is from my Momentum app. I shared this on my VIP day. That momentum is like when you download the Momentum app, it's a free app for your browser, and it has a beautiful picture. And guess what picture it had yesterday? Canada. I'm like, okay, thank you, universe. All the places that you want to travel, all the places that you want to see, they just come into your awareness. I'm in alignment with that. And it has a quote for today, or for each day. So I don't have to think of a quote. I just go to my laptop and write it down. It gives me an idea. It just gives me it just raises my vibration. It helps me. Other people's words and energy and thoughts and ideas help me. I love that because I sit in that teacher mode a lot. I need that. I need that that inspiration. Do you know what I mean? And so I love it. And so I have my links and what I'm going to focus on that day. So I'm not like starting my day beating myself up, or starting my day without the clarity, and starting my day like, oh, what do I do today? You know? So people do come to me and they say, I don't know what to do. I've got a business, but I don't know what to do on a day-to-day basis. It's like, get the Momentum app, put your to-dos, choose one and go. And today I did a recording for the Bank 50K 50 Days Challenge, an update of what I'm actually doing, what I didn't actually get done, because this week has been like 5 hours, 40 minutes on Monday for the live masterclass, which I was buzzing, and then 5 hours and 40 minutes for the group VIP day. So I haven't actually done that much in between. I could, but I choose not to. I'm just getting a thank you, love. I'm just getting a message with somebody's YouTube channel link, and drop your YouTube channel links, because I'm like, we're about it. We're going. We are going. We are going. All right. So today the quote is, don't postpone joy until you have learned all of your lessons. Joy is your lesson. That's a quote by Alan Conan. And I think I've got a book from him. Alan Conan, I think he's a Hay House author. So I don't know where all the quotes come from, but it says, and if you need to hear it, write it down, right, in your spiritual journal for your spiritual business success. Use whatever quote comes to mind, whatever phrase comes to mind. If you hear yourself saying some words, I'll talk about the love languages. Like if your love language is words, store them up. I'm going to talk about in the book, but just words. Words is one of my love language, not even going to lie. So I'm like, feel loved all the time. So it says, don't postpone joy until you've learned all of your lessons. Joy is your lesson. What does that say to you? Like, just feel joyful now, right? So I've been intuitively guided to make new images for my business. Woo woo! So I'm just getting messages like on Messenger, because I've sent a couple of messages out for co-authors and for my students who've been in the Soul Legacy Academy. So that's me reaching out for Relationship Freedom Friday. I kind of often do that. If I don't do it every day, I usually do it on a Friday. So our vibrational frequency, when we're raising our vibrational frequency and we're rating between a 1 and 11, we want to note that the higher vibrations on the emotional freedom scale that we talk about on a Wednesday from Abraham Hicks is the highest love, right? And freedom and joy and empowerment and knowledge. They're the highest vibrations according to that scale. And then so the lower ones are fear and guilt and powerlessness and victimhood and all the things, right? And so if you are postponing your joy until you've learned all of your lessons, you're lowering your vibration anyway, and just not giving yourself permission to really live life, because we're going to get the lessons and we learn every single day. I'm open to learn every single day. I'm open to listening to a book every single day. Like, I don't need to put my life on hold before I feel joyful about it, whether I manifest or not. And so as we were on the VIP day yesterday, I think that really came through as well. I did a little exercise, which I'm going to duplicate here, a little bit of it, that we can feel joyful now, even though things are not manifested. Everything's not manifested. And for those things to manifest, before those things manifest, that's the feeling that we want to emit anyway. So that is the quote for today. I'm going to read the card and then I'm going to come to your comments as well. Robin says, yes, we're going. We are. Joy is your lesson. I know, right? So that's it. It's just a quote on the momentum app. I don't know who actually created the momentum app, but I love it. And I think, excuse me, if I'm able to share it with you on a daily, I didn't do yesterday's quote. And I'm like, oh, I missed the opportunity. That's because I was like by my laptop all day, and then I came out of the office and I'd forgotten, and I just didn't want to run up and do it. So this is the quote for today, by this is Keepers of the Light by Carl Gray. And I put all of the card deck back together, and so we've got a fresh start. And I was like, oh, spiritual freedom. No, it's not. Relationship Freedom Friday. So I was shuffling. So it might have a mixed vibration there. But this is Joan of Arc, Voice of Truth. When you're thinking about your relationships, whatever they are, whichever relationship, all things are relationships, relationship in your environment, relationships in your local community, relationship nationally, internationally, globally, all the things, universe, relationship with you, obviously first. But yeah, so it says, stand strong and focus on your purpose. Release the fear of persecution and speak your truth. And I love that. We've had that. Obviously, we've had it before because we've redone the whole pack. We've only had it once. And I remember when I first saw this card, and does it mean anything to you? Voice your truth. Voice of truth, stand strong, focus on your purpose, release the fear of persecution, and speak your truth. Does that speak to you? As a spiritual business owner, launching, leading, and leaving your soul legacy, when I got this the first time around, and I love the lilies too, I was like, okay, here we go. This might be a rough ride. But I'm gonna do it anyway. And since doing setting the intention for the Bank 50K for today's challenge, and doing the masterclass, which is the first one that I've done in 5 months, and then doing the VIP day, the group VIP day, which I haven't done a group VIP day ever. Done like group training, obviously, but not the group VIP day. And I didn't know what I was going to do until yesterday morning. Hours before, I was like, oh, okay, and that's what I did. I never force it, right? And so coming back and reaching out to co-authors, some co-authors, not all. Some dropped off, and that's fine. Some weren't in alignment and some were not. And reaching out to the ones that were in alignment who've said to me, oh, you know, they're still in alignment, feels really, really great. And I literally was like, okay, release the fear of persecution and speak your truth. And it's like, that's big. So on the VIP day, one of the co-authors was on, and I, you know, I've openly apologized, and I said, you know, obviously I dropped off and that's a public failure, right? To everybody else, it wasn't a public failure to me. It was a public failure, but it wasn't a failure to me. It was a decision that I made, which looked like. And I, you know, and then we had other students, new students, say, but that speaks volumes because she's still here. Do you know what I mean? And she said to me, you know, it just wasn't the right time when I first was doing it. And the things I do seem to feel like they're ahead of their time. I'm like, oh, catch up. So this is really nice for me to get it again and feel differently about it. And like I said, I was reaching out to other students, and I'm just ready to all things are in place basically. I took time out for this last year, since last June, to voice my truth to me first. So I have a vision. If something is not in alignment with my North Star and my values, I'm not doing it. If something is lowering my vibration, I'm not doing it. And even speaking it now, it's about relationships. I had some beautiful relationships that I thought that everything was always going to go really swimmingly and really great. I was quite not naive. I don't like to say that naive. I was quite naive, but maybe I was. I don't know. But I just always think that everybody's got such beautiful intentions in the world, and you know, many people have. The majority of people have, but not everyone. And that, just speaking that truth. I'm not about list building. I'm about legacy building, and it's a very different energy. So the people that I attract now, really standing in that truth, it feels really beautiful. So I attracted and built a relationship yesterday with someone, and we're like, where did we meet? How did we even meet? How did we even? I'm like, I don't even know. It's like, well, because I always ask people where they came from me through other relationships or what have you. And she's like, I think it was a summit. And I'm like, I did not feature on that summit. It's like, well, maybe it's something that we just genuinely do not even know. We don't know. However, she came onto the masterclass, watched the masterclass for 5 hours and 40 minutes. I didn't even give her any comments on the thing because I wasn't looking in my easy webinar room. I was only looking on the YouTube channel. She spent all that time with me. I made no comments to her, no reference to her whatsoever, because I didn't realize she was watching. And then she came on the 3-chapter VIP day, and now she's a student, and it's just a beautiful lifelong sisterhood and friendship. I can feel it. And so when I felt all of those things before, some of them fell away, some of the relationships broke down, and now it's like, oh, when something's not fast, like this is fast, it doesn't feel like that. It doesn't feel like it's so fast, it's so lit. She spent 10 hours with me, 11 hours with me in the last week. That is what I love. That's the relationship that I want to build, where people are all in and they're all in for it. Do you know what I mean? So that feels in alignment. I know now that actions speak louder than words, which they do in your relationship, and you want to be the one where your actions are speaking louder than words. But the voice of truth is that it's not just the words that you're speaking, because my love language is also words. So people can speak words to me, and then when they're speaking the opposite words to me, I'm like, oh no. It's like, oh, definitely not. But quality time is my love language. And so spending 11 hours with somebody that's completely new, I mean, you know, it's just beautiful. That's like dating, like on steroids. It's beautiful. So Robin says the voice of truth resonates with the throat chakra too. I realized that when I actually pulled the card. But thank you, love. So again, it's the throat chakra on the Energy Healing TV. And Robin will help you with the clearing of your throat and your voice and speaking your truth and all the things. Robin says, absolutely. I can't count how many times I did not speak my truth in the past decades. Wow. Jennifer says, oh yes, she's so amazing. Yeah. Yeah, and obviously for Jennifer and I, so if you've been following me, if you're watching, because people are like, I'm seeing your stuff. I'm like, are you? It's like, yeah, I'm seeing your stuff. I'm like, okay. And so Jennifer obviously was on the VIP day, and so she met my student as well, new soul sister, new spiritual biz YouTuber, new SBYN member, which feels really nice. And that was the first time that we actually got to see each other face to face. Well, it's not face to face, but online face to face, which was really lovely. And you've been on this, on my lives for weeks, and we just felt like we already knew each other. And that's what relationships are. When we're speaking our truth, it's just beautiful. And Robin, I think there's a lot of people who do not speak their truth, and I tend to. I tend to. So let me read this card. So don't worry about the persecution, basically, like being persecuted for your truth. When it's your tribe, it's your tribe, and that's it. Joan of Arc was a medieval French peasant girl who is reported to have been visited by Archangel Michael and other saints, who gave her information on how she could help Charles VII save France from English domination. She was only a teenager when she went into battle for her country and won a huge victory. She was, however, later captured and burnt at the stake. And when I read that, I'm like, you have no idea what goes, the thoughts in my body. I'm like, so I don't read over that lightly. I don't even like reading it because I get a visual and it's not nice. These days, she is supremely loving to guide all those who want to stand up against the odds. And imagine that feeling of, when you speak your truth, you're going to be burnt at the damn stake. It's like, what the heck? Like, really? Really? Like, really? She also helps many light workers overcome their fear of persecution. And sometimes it's past stuff, isn't it? Past karmas, past lies, past answer, all the things. And Robin will support you in that, like making understanding of that, because, yeah, that energy. Extended message: you are being encouraged to stand strong. You may feel unrecognized. I don't know. I always feel silly on a Relationship Freedom Friday. And you are being encouraged to stand strong. You may feel unrecognized and misunderstood, but that doesn't mean you have to give up on your mission you feel called to fulfill. Do you ever feel like that? I've felt like that in the past. Yeah. You must follow the will of your soul and exercise your leadership spirit by speaking your truth. And if you're not doing that and you're watching on the replay, if you're not doing that, I invite you to write that sentence down. You must follow the will of your soul and exercise your leadership spirit by speaking your truth. Every single person that is in the Spiritual Biz YouTubers network is a leader, a spiritual teacher. And so you're leading. You don't just look at me to be a leader. Like, you're not just a follower, like, oh, she's follow. No, you're a leader in your own right. And that's what I really want to, speaking your truth, not my truth. You may feel as if you are on a battlefield, but this conflict will come to an end as soon as you stop defending yourself. And that's how I feel, actually. You are not, I wanted to say now, you are not here to prove yourself to others. Instead, approve of yourself. Know that your angels are on your side and that heaven is thanking you for being the honest soul you are. Can I get an amen? How beautiful is that? Is that lovely or is that lovely? What have we got next? All right, so we're in alignment with our vision and our values, speaking our truth, and our vibration, right? And so I'm going to do the Bank 50K in 50 Days challenge in a second, but I want to do gratitude, and I want to do it in a couple of ways. Actually, let me tell you the book that I read for today, and then I'll do gratitude. How about that? Which is the 5 Love Languages. And so I listened to the singles one and the children's one. So depending on what's going on in your world, you get a book, whether it's 5 Love Languages or not. Tell me what your love language is if you know your love language, because that's really helpful. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll tell you just now. And Jennifer says, yes. So fun, very comfortable, excited for Robin's live. See if I can do the same with the kiddos. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. Right. The experience of your ancestors and our own past life experience is deep, which is why we do our deep healing and clearing. 100%. Yeah, it is why we do our deep healing and clearing. And if we're not willing to do the deep healing and clearing, especially when you've gone through a spiritual awakening and you're going on that spiritual ascension journey, and to alchemize it, you've got to get to that level. And for me, it's been like well over a decade of going through. I literally went through a dark decade of the soul. I'm not even kidding. And the healing, and I wish I'd had you, Robin, to support me through that, because it was painful. Quality time, and acts of service. Woo, woo. Thank you. Mine is quality time. Then words, then physical touch, right? For me, that's why I guided my marker. We have a primary love language, but we all want to be loved in more than one way. And we might give it in that way. So do you give love in the way that you like to receive it? Do you give love, and do those around you give you love in the way that you like to receive it? Or do you have to have a conversation and educate them and share the book? Because I've just been sharing the book with my niece, and that's really big. So quality time, love that, Robin. Acts of service. So Jennifer, acts of service is lower down on mine. However, my daily lives is an acts of service. Right, that's my gift to you. Me gifting time. So I combine the love languages. So I'm using words. It's a gift. So I don't give gifts very well, but I do gift and tithe my time. So that's a gift. So I'm getting good at it. I was just about to say, like, I'm not that good at it, but I can gift my time. So I can gift my primary love languages and act of service. And what else? Physical touch. I can't do that yet, but we will do when we do the Mastermind retreat in Thailand. It's the 3rd week in May, 2022, 2023, and annually. So Robin and I are hosting a retreat. So we're going to gather some people around for that. Robin says, I love you. I love you. So Robin and I have not spent as much time together this week, and I felt it. Like, I'm like, I miss you. So Robin wasn't obviously on the VIP day, because she doesn't need to be on the VIP day, and she can come on to it if she wants to, but obviously she's got a life to live, right? And I'm just like, it feels weird when we're not talking, because we talk like just about all day. Like I talk all day. Robin just listens. I love you, beautiful. Thank you. So the book for today is The 5 Love Languages. Have you read the book? Have you done the quiz? Because you know your love language. And do you resonate with it? So they've got the 5 love languages. I'm currently reading the singles one, which I think I might just move over to the couples one, because I'm like of the vision that I'm already married. So I'm just like, well, why would I be reading the singles one? That dawned on me today. I'm just saying. And then the one for children. So the 5 love languages are the way that Dr. Gary Chapman has said that he's done like relationship counseling for like 3 decades or something, I think, and created a book. And again, books change lives, transform lives. And the way that he talks about giving and receiving love in 5 primary ways. So we might have a primary love language, but when we're young, we need all 5, apparently. So they are quality time, acts of service, physical touch, gifts, and words of affirmation. So whatever your love language is, I think it's really helpful. I really resonate with it. A lot of people do. Some people might not. But when you're in a relationship or not in a relationship, if we're not giving and receiving love the way that we want to have it, excuse me, then we don't feel loved. Our love tank feels empty. And so I thought when I was in union with my twin flame that my love language came out like 3 all at once, and I was like, all at the same. And I was like, really? So we thought that it was words. My love language was more words of affirmation. And he loved my words, but wasn't really good at words. And then when I did it again over a period of time, whether it was a lockdown or whether it was our circumstances that changed, like him working away, working nights and moving out and moving away, I realized that it was quality time. And I think that might have had an impact on me speaking my love languages in that way, but it's quality time, and that actually made more sense to me, to have that primary one. The other ones are very close, but quality time. So am I giving love in that way? Am I receiving love in that way? And so when I think of the relationship that I want to manifest, and spiritual dating, which I talk about on the spiritual dating TV, Awakened Soulmates Marriage CV, if and when I'm to get married, I want to spend quality time. I want to have that lifestyle. And so I've been on dates and stuff. I haven't been on that many. But without the quality time, I'm just not doing it. Basically, because it's a recipe for disaster for me. So that's what I've come up with the issue as such of me having the freedom to work when I want to and others not necessarily. So I'm not really feeling that. So today, excuse me, I can't remember what chapter it was, but it was talking about statements for words of affirmation. And so, excuse me, throat, speak your truth. Rowan said I felt it too. It's so weird. LOL. Did you? You didn't say. I'm like, I miss you. You don't have to say it. It's fine. Robin says, we'll be back for the replay soon. Love you, ladies. See you soon, ladies. Love you. So he says writing words. So if your primary love language isn't words, but you're around others that or you've got children because they need all, then he gives examples in the book. He was doing like a case study, and this guy in the book wasn't familiar with using love words of affirmation, so he was doing very poorly in his dating. Excuse me. What is that? So he was giving him like affirmation statements to then use, but because he wasn't dating, he didn't have a girlfriend, he suggested that he used the love languages of words with his parents. And he said, well, it just felt weird because he wasn't shown that. That's why he wasn't very good. I got a purple heart, one of our co-authors as well. Awesome. And so, yeah, so he said, speak the love languages to your parents. So he said, when you speak to them, ring them every week and then say, I love you. And he's like, he didn't really hear that when he was growing up. A lot of us don't. And so after a few weeks, then his relationship basically changed with his parents. He's like, what's that got to do with my dating? This is, well, you've not got a girlfriend, so let's just practice that vibration and get used to speaking it. So he started to speak it to colleagues. So he started to write down the kind of compliments that he could give to people that were around him, just thank you and that appreciation, which works. Try it. And then the appreciation of what he would say or what he might have said to someone that he was dating before. So he could practice that. So if I think of the relationships that I was in, it's like, well, what did I really like? What were the attributes? What was the characteristics? What were the things that I really loved them doing? And just thinking and feeling into that vibration, because I'm single. So I'm looking at on my table, on my coffee table, there's two big bunches of flowers that are merged together, and there's is it a red or pink lily? Which I love receiving flowers. So that's a gift, and it's just really nice. And my daughters do bought us both flowers and chocolates. And so I put them in a vase, and she said, and I took a picture and I sent it to her, and I said, that's so sweet. And she said, he is, isn't he? She said that two of my partners, I'm just about to name them then, two of my partner, my last one, and my twin flame and my soulmate for 7.5 years, used to buy me flowers and buy her flowers as well, buy my daughter flowers. She's 19 now. I was like, oh yeah, that's true. She said, it's nice that he does, like, she's got flowers and I still get them. And I thought that is attracting those people that actually, so that's a level of appreciation that I'd like to take into my relationship with my husband, with my dude. And then I said, my ex-husband used to buy her flowers as well. So that's really nice. And significant people in our life, and men, obviously, they've been taught, and he wasn't even in the doghouse, because some times when people are in the doghouse, then they'd buy you flowers. But the people, they weren't, like, if they go shopping or they just see the flowers, they think of us and buy us flowers. So I think that's really nice. So that's one of the things I can think of to be appreciative. of. So other relationships, I started to listen to the 5 love languages of children, because the relationship that I have now, my niece has just messaged me, I was sharing, or been sharing, and this is like a point of like, oh gosh, you know, I'm thinking of my dating relationships, what I have been getting more of, and what I've had, and what I'd like to manifest, and clients, students, what I've had, and what I'd like to manifest more of. So there's been contrast in the past to now, right? And so I set the vision to manifest more of what I'd like, and I'm doing it, and it's coming, and it's manifesting, which is beautiful. And so I'd set the vision at one point in my life to foster, and the relationships that I've been in just didn't feel completely in alignment with creating the environment for foster children. So I may foster my great niece and nephew, which is a girl and boy, are twins. And yeah, it's just amazing to have that experience. I've been building relationships, obviously, with different agencies and stuff, phone calls and things like that. So that would be new relationships, obviously, in my household, in my world. I don't know if that will come about, but it's in my world currently. So I'm listening to the 5 love languages for children, because I want to know how they receive love, and to pour that love in, you know, really pour that love in, all of the 5 love languages, but what their primary one is, just refreshing myself on that. So that's beautiful. That's in my world now. So when I think of relationships and what I want to do throughout the week, to prepare for that, so I'm doing the house, just cleaning up again. It's clean and it's tidy and it's organized, but I'll do the windows again, and the doors, and underneath the sofa, and just really give it, you know, a real spruce, and make sure it's fresh and stuff for visits and things like that. So that's in my world of relationships. The relationship with myself, that makes me think of the relationship with myself. And if you know anything about being a foster parent, they dig through everything. They're like, do you know what, if you've got anything to say it, kind of thing. And just, that's quite intrusive, but it's fine. So the version of me, my relationship with me, has to be secure, to be an open book and an open door, to say, okay, welcome one, you know, 2 children, possibly twins as well, and still maintaining a positive relationship with their mum and their dad and all the things. You know, it's like, you know, there might be like a stigma attached to that and all the things, and I just really don't want it to be like that, you know. And so that journey is something that's on my mind and in my heart and in my, you know, and I want it to be fun, and rekindling relationships and different things. Do you know what I mean? It just feels really nice. It just feels really beautiful. So that is what I'm doing. So, you know, whatever you are doing to prepare, whether you've got a book or watching videos, or you want to reach out for sources of support, or just whatever it is, having different conversations. So I shared with everyone the 5 love languages, and I was sharing that with my sister-in-law, and I just shared it with my niece, and she said, oh, I didn't tell her about it, and I will, when I get off this live, I'm going to share about the 5 love languages, because I think that it will help. It's just beautiful. Jennifer says, I'll have to check out the kids one. Yeah, so they've got the 5 love languages for men. So I read the 5 love languages to my twin flame, and it was really beautiful. And he was like, oh wow, I can really hear that. So he read the book to me, and I read the book to him. And although we're not in union, we still got what we needed from the relationship and learned. And so, you know, he would say that he was different in our relationship and I was different. We brought out the best in each other rather than the worst, you know. Sometimes, like, so I asked him what his flaws were, because I looked at him and I was like, you're amazing, what are your flaws, can I live with them? And I said what my flaws were. And, you know, we might have in other relationships flared up and like quite fiery. I can be quite fiery, but he never brought that side out in me. So I've learned a new way, and he learned a new way in that way. And it's just really beautiful to communicate the love languages, and to have quality time, and to have you know, that love together. It's just really beautiful. So that is the 5 love languages. I think it's really helpful as you do your spiritual journaling, to know the books, because we have books, we read books, we listen to a bunch of stuff, but it's actually implementing and applying those things. And I remember just that image just flashed in my mind where I first was sharing this, and I was like, well, I want to share that one book, learn one thing. It was very, it wasn't as deep. It was deep, but it was, this journey of me doing the spiritual journal has just evolved so much. So I think that's it. Let's do the gratitude, then we'll do the Bank 50K 50 days. So the way that I do gratitude for the intentional living course, for the 7 freedoms, is by saying I'm happy and I'm grateful and I appreciate blank, whatever that is. So we bring in all of the 7 freedoms into every single day for intentional living, meaning the vision, the values, and the vibration of all areas of your life for that light work and lifestyle balance. So we want to pull in the routines and the rituals that are going to support you in living an intentional life, but we also want to pull in that gratitude and appreciation. So I'm happy and I'm grateful and I appreciate 7 things today. Write them down in your spiritual journal. Use them as a spiritual journal prompt. And if you are struggling, you can bring something in from the past, something in the present, and something in the predicted future. And by predicted future, what I mean is when you go for my spiritual vision board challenge for business, for light work and lifestyle balance, to raise your what I call your chase to financial freedom frequency, just get deep clarity on what it is that you want to manifest and the life and the direction that you want to go in for all of these 7 freedoms. That will help you. And so bring in the predicted future and be grateful for that as well. And I know that you're really great at that, Jennifer. And I want to say that what I did on the VIP day yesterday was bring in one word that represented each area. So you can do that, one word, and I would say one value. So I do that on the spiritual vision board challenge. Your value. What is your value in that area? So I'm happy and I'm grateful and I appreciate whatever is manifesting that you want to experience. So it could be a little thing, could be a big thing. So use that as a spiritual journal prompt. So I've got, for my example, for my contribution, doing the masterclass and the VIP day, that speaks my love language too, and it built relationships. So I'm happy and I'm grateful and I appreciate, one, I know how to do it, know what I'm doing, and I appreciate the journey that I've gone on to get to that place where I can speak my true voice, what it is, and build authentic and genuine connections, have that soul to soul connection. Loved it. So my health with my food, just having that ease, that healthy relationship with health, basically. For that's so contribution freedom, health freedom. So I'm happy and I'm grateful and I appreciate whatever that is. So for emotional freedom, I'm happy and grateful that I'm pumped. Like I have a lot of energy. I feel vibrant. I feel happy with my relationships and my relationship with me. For my environment, it's clean and it's organized and it's just really easy to, prep for somebody coming to actually look at my house, because it's just a really nice environment anyway. So just a little bit of, freshening up, which is really nice. I've kept on top of it for the most part. I'm looking at clothes that they need to go away, but that's my daughter's fault. And I'm not mad at it either. Just easy. Relationships, obviously, for me, they're fun and they're vibrant. I'm really happy with the conversations that I've had and the new relationships that I've been able to build and rekindle old ones with ease. That's just really beautiful. I really am appreciative of that. Spiritual, I feel a freshness and a trust and a connection. So I'm happy and grateful and I really appreciate that. And I feel into it more. And then for money coming in, I recorded my 5-day YouTube challenge again, and so I couldn't sell it because I was re-recording it, and some of the stuff was outdated. Like I wasn't in union anymore, and I didn't have so many lead soul guided instructors. Robin's just the lead now, and so I had to re-record it. So I couldn't sell it. Well, I could, but I wouldn't. And so I've re-recorded it like a couple of weeks ago, and I'm like, yay! And so, you know, I've got a couple of new students, which is really nice. It's beautiful. So that's that passive income stream and that leveraged income stream, but being in service and building relationships is just beautiful. So yeah, having that financial freedom or passive income. And so let's do the Bank 50K in 50 Days challenge. I want to respect your time. So the Soul Legacy Journal gives you £1,000, dollars or euros every single day to use in your spiritual journal as a prompt. So when I say Bank 50K in 50 Days, we do it vibrationally here on the Soul Legacy TV. And banking 50K in 50 days, the Soul Legacy Journal gives you £1,000, dollars or euros to spend, right, making memories. It's not about just having the money. So all of the 7 freedoms that we have and we put on our spiritual vision board, you want to make memories around them. If you want to just focus on relationship today, then you can. But whatever area, whether it's contribution, your health, emotions, environment, relationships, spirituality, and finances, whatever it is that you want to spend your money on, whatever area in your light work and your lifestyle to enhance it, raise your vibration, make memories, all the things that are on your vision board, do it. So I know that you've spent some of your vibrational money voucher today, Jennifer, which is amazing. You don't want to spend it every single day, but something comes up in the week, spend it. Don't want to spend it every single day, carry it over to the next day. But and up until Sunday, up to Financial Freedom Sunday. After that, if you don't use it, you'll lose it. And you have to start fresh on the Monday. So banking 50K in 50 days, the challenge is to do it every single day. Come from the space that your bills are already paid, so you don't have to spend it on bills. And we'll talk about that deeply on Financial Freedom Sunday. I've left my bill that came, 2 bills actually, that came. And so that was my idea of the Bank 50K in 50 days, to have all of my bills paid for an entire year. Right, that was financial freedom to me. So if something happened or I wanted just time off, I didn't have to work. I've got enough to have in the house, to have the house running, have the lifestyle, all the things. Right, if I just didn't work at all, that's what I wanted to have, and I wanted to build a business that could sustain that. So the Bank 50K in 50 Days challenge requires you to tithe 10% every single day of that vibrational money voucher to a worthy cause. Mine is Cruise Bereavement Care. Cruise Bereavement Care, they helped me. One of their volunteers helped me when I was going through the transition. My son made his transition 7 years ago. He passed 12 days before his 20th birthday, and about 6 months after that, I had a lady come round, sit on this couch with me and support me like every single week, every single Friday, I think it was. And it was just, yeah, this Relationship Friday, Freedom Friday didn't exist then. The intentional living codes didn't exist. They exist because of what I went through. So, you know, you have my son to thank for that. So that's the Bank 50K in 50 Days challenge. If you want to do this and learn to build a spiritual business model that can sustain your light work and your lifestyle balance, and can sustain stand the test of time, bring you passive income streams, bring you leveraged income streams, then I do invite you to my next Spiritual Biz YouTubers Masterclass. I do it live. You can go on the Soul Legacy TV, Soul Legacy Academy, sorry, and sign up, watch the replay, sign up for bonuses while you wait. But I do it live on the last Monday of the month, every single month at 3 p.m. UK time. I'm super excited about the next one. It's scheduled out. If you know of anyone who would like to do this challenge with you, who wants to build a spiritual business on YouTube, create their own program, have that light work and lifestyle balance, then hit them up. If they want to write a book, all the things. I have my free chapter of my book. It's called Spiritual YouTubers from Scratch, a soul guided influencers compass to leverage your light work and lifestyle on YouTube. That's also on pre-order. The masterclass is about the book, and my 5-day YouTube from Scratch challenge is about the book. That's at the core of my book. And I will be doing book launch videos on the Soul Legacy TV YouTube podcast, so watch out for them. Subscribe to the Soul Legacy TV if you haven't already. Share this Relationship Freedom Friday Spiritual Journal with Me episode out on the socials. Invite someone in, tag them, do what you need to do. Click the subscribe, click the notification button and to get notified when I go live. Like this video, that helps with the algorithms. And I am also the host of the #1 Spiritual Awakening Annual YouTube Summit, where I interview fellow spiritual YouTubers on their spiritual awakening story and how that's actually impacted them and why they do what they do. So if you want to know more about that, then I have a playlist on the SoulLegacyTV as well. The season runs October through to April on the 2 middle Wednesdays of the month. I call them binge watch Wednesdays, 9 a.m, 3 p.m, and 9 p.m. UK time. If you want to move forward with me and you want to work with me, I'll share everything on the masterclass. If you want to share your spiritual awakening story in my co-author book series around the spiritual awakening, and you are a spiritual biz YouTuber, then I would love to hear from you. You can let me know that you have a story at submissions@SoulLegacyAcademy.com. So that is it for today. Thank you, Jennifer, for sticking with me, for coming, for showing up live. We're back because I'd done them later a couple of times this week. And Robin, again, thank you for spending this time with me. If you are not subscribed to Robin Knott's YouTube channel, then you can. Robin has a 5-day money blocks clearing challenge. She calls it a self-love journey to financial freedom for empaths and light workers. So that is it. Bank free to game for days. It's on. Love you. Big love. Take care. Bye, Jennifer. And if you're typing when I'm gone, there's a delay. So sometimes I'll see a comment after I've come off. So big love. Take care.